Now in its 10th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, it's me, it's Alex, and this is the Ramble, and we go until midnight tonight.
Hi everybody. Hi everybody. See, I started recording and you were talking, but that's okay. That's Chuck Farnham, who the last time we did this, I pushed the wrong button and I started streaming, and the whole thing went out live, so people got to see you live.
Oh boy!
If they picked up on it, I wonder how many people were watching it live. Hold on a second.
Sad individuals.
Sad individuals. Yeah, nothing to do with their lives, but we had 3 views. I guess people weren't. Excuse me. Yeah, that was 3 views.
Watching ourselves?
Huh?
Are we watching ourselves? Watching ourselves?
No. I was just trying to see how many people were watching this. But anyway.
So
listen, when we finished last time, and this may be the first time they hear about this.
Depending on how you look at it.
Your stepfather.
Later that same week.
Your stepfather, who you went to high school with,
yeah,
is in the hospital.
He's in the hospital.
What's he got?
Great.
What's he got?
Currently, he had diabetes, and he's got a bunch of. He has pneumonia at the moment because he aspirated some food, and there are clots in his lungs and other places, and things aren't great, and not great for him.
Not great for him.
But we're hoping everything comes through okay. Probably by the time you guys see this, maybe we'll have another conversation, and he's doing great and running around the country. But
yeah. But how old is he?
67, 68.
Wow. It's young.
And I know who to blame this whole thing on. He was a truck driver. And truck drivers in this country, and feel free if there are truck drivers out there, and you can yell at me all you want. Truck drivers in this country go get physicals. You drive by a truck stop and it says, we do physicals. They get physicals from chiropractors because chiropractors the government, the DOT allows chiropractors to give guys, truck drivers, physicals.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't do anything. It's like they don't test you for diabetes. They look at you and go, maybe you should lose a little weight, here's some vitamins, and send you on your way. Well, he had diabetes for a long time and did not know it because every time he went to a physical, it was a chiropractor.
Really?
And a lot of truck drivers do this because chiropractors always pass truck drivers for medical tests.
Is a chiropractor licensed to do that?
Licensed to mess with according to the DOT, they're licensed to give you a physical.
My wife goes to a chiropractor once every couple of weeks. Has been doing it ever since we've been together.
Sure.
And I don't like chiropractors. I just feel it's phony science. Okay.
Well, it's weird.
And if there are chiropractors out there who are bothered by what I just said, good. Okay. But
they all get their license from the same place.
So I don't know. I had a bad back or something was bothering me. She'd go to my chiropractor. Go to the chiropractor. And I even had some X-rays of the part we were going to go look at. And he said, okay, well, let me just do a few adjustments here, things like that, whatever. I walk out. Right. I don't feel any better than when I walked in.
Yeah.
I think and I said, I don't feel any better. And he said, well, it takes a couple of sessions before you'll start feeling better. And I went, gee, that's funny, because when I go to a normal doctor, I start feeling better right after we're through going there. I mean, I'm feeling 100% better, But he give me a pill, or he gives me a shot, or he does
Right.
something that when I walk out, I feel better. So if I don't
these
feel,
guys don't give you a pill. These guys
they
are
can't.
not allowed to give you pills.
Right. If I don't feel better after the first visit, I'm not going back. And I told
Right.
Marjorie, I said, "This is, it's a quack's business,
It's weird. I had them fix me once, and it worked, and I had them not fix me once, and it really hurt. So now I kind of,
yeah, yeah. I don't believe in chiropractic.
yeah, they're weird. They're weird guys, and they think they're doctors, but they're, that's, like you and I saying we're a doctor of whatever.
Well, it was like on 2.5 Men. The brother was a chiropractor, and he always kept
Exactly.
making fun of him. You're not
And
really a
that's
doctor.
kind of how they operate. Any chiropractor you've ever met is kind of like Alan.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I can help you. Yeah, maybe not. So he's in, the hospital, and I'm driving around in the hospital. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. I knew it. So 2 weeks ago, I'm in, San Ramon.
Mm-hmm.
First time ever this happens. Guy walks up to me and goes, "Hey, I know you. You're on Alex Bennett's cabinet." And I'm spinning around. I'm like, man, I've been known for a lot of things in my day, but cabinet never came out of the old pie. And he was an old listener at Live 105.
Mm-hmm.
And he listens to you on cabinet. Hey, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically spent 3 or 4 days with a guy at a giant amateur radio convention. And it was nice to know that, people are...
in case he's listening. So you're the one.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
No, and he watches you and Marjorie wander around the park. We talked about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I watch him when he does those things in the park.
We haven't done that in a while since my fall, because I have to take a cane with me when I walk. Not because I need it, to take care of me, but it's there in case I fall.
Right.
So I don't walk very far anymore. It's terrible. I've given up on walking. So I'm hoping when we go on these vacations, I'll start walking more.
Where are you going?
I don't know. We haven't decided yet. One of the things is we're maybe going to get a villa in Tuscany for a couple of weeks.
Well, I thought you said Texas there for a minute.
No, Tuscany.
Tuscany.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Which is in Italy.
Yeah. See the Pope?
No, I don't want to see the Pope.
No.
I want to see any of that. I want to see. I've been to Tuscany. We've been to Tuscany before, and it's gorgeous. There's something about the light and everything else. It's perfect.
I'm still working on a train trip.
So we're coming into some cash. So eventually, we're just thinking of traveling. I mean, we hope that this will only be our second home. That everywhere else in the world will be our first.
There you go. What about the Middle East? No?
Yeah, sure. I want to go there. I was thinking of taking a vacation in Gaza.
Yeah.
I hear there's like 2 inches in Gaza that hasn't been blown to bits.
No, man. Yeah, maybe. I bet the hotels are cheap.
Finally, the United States today, this is maybe several weeks later when we play this thing, but the United States finally said, we really suggest you take a couple of days off and let people get out of the country.
Yeah.
But that's about time that we did that. What I would have said is, stop the bombing. No money for you unless you stop the bombing. You want to protect your country? Protect your country, but don't go into another country and blast it to bits.
Well,
because they said this is the thing that got me the other day. Well, we killed 12 members of Hamas. Well, how many people did you kill getting to them?
To them, yeah.
Hundreds?
Or 1,000.
Yeah.
You look at those buildings.
How many little children are dead because you got to those 12 guys? The proportion is not right, okay?
Right. They don't have a proportional response. They have the rule, what they were calling apparently the rules of war. There are rules of
Oh
war.
yeah, there are rules of war. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look, I got this
Wait a
right.
minute. There's the
When I,
Geneva Conventions, and really what they are rules of war.
when I was a kid and got in a fight and whatever, I I bit little Tommy Kleiner in the face. Okay, and he goes, "You can't do that. You can't do it. What the hell are you doing?" I go, "You started punching me," and he goes, "You can't bite people in the face in a fight." And I'm like, I didn't ever get rules on this, and why not? The fight stopped the minute I bit you in the face,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and decades later, he still remembers that.
Yeah.
And I did bite him in the face because he was about to knock a bunch of stuff off the wall in our house, and my dad was going to kick my ass if that happened. So, but they don't have that. And
Why did you choose the face to bite him? Why didn't you just kick him in the balls?
well, because we were already on the ground. He'd already knocked me down,
Mm-hmm.
and I was kind of on top of him, and he wouldn't stop hitting me. So I just went right at the cheek.
Wow.
Yeah, it probably got a scar. It was not
Anyway,
good.
your idea about
I wouldn't let go until he stopped punching me.
but your idea about rules of war, it's absurd. It is just so absurd.
Yeah, it was like I'm watching this going, well, they're killing women and children. And I'm like, yeah, it's a war. That's what happens.
Yeah, but
People die.
but my question is, are the rules of war you kill women and children?
Well, how about the rules of war being, why don't we all play chess and whoever wins is the winner of the war?
Well,
Why do you
what was
go
it, that episode of Star
blowing people
Trek
away?
where they had a war by proxy, and they could
Yeah.
kill off a certain amount of their people if they were losing?
Not even that. You could go, okay, we're going to play ping pong, and whoever wins, you're the winner of the war, and you get what you want.
Yeah, yeah.
Why not? I mean, that would work.
But all I'm saying is
Guys.
that how many people do you kill to get to the bad guys?
Right.
And I think this has been totally disproportionate. When you say,
Well, I don't-
well, we
I
just
don't
we
think
just
so.
bombed that building to shreds because below it was Hamas. Well, come
Right.
on, I mean, there are women and children and adult men, women, children, seniors, people with life-threatening conditions in and of themselves who are living in that building that
Right.
you just demolished to get to, what, 12 people? I'm
And
sorry.
they use those bunker bombs. They because of where I live, they do testing of those things out here. When they drop one of those babies, it makes a big hole.
Oh, yeah, we've seen them on television.
Oh yeah, I know. And I'm like, oh, I
It's
know
like a
that hole.
crater.
Yeah, and it goes down hundreds of feet.
But I don't know.
It doesn't explode. It doesn't explode at ground level. It goes down and then goes on.
Gaza is the size, they told me, of Philadelphia. Okay? Can you imagine how much of that country has been completely demolished? I mean, just
Yeah,
hauling, where are they going to haul the rubble away?
Yeah, a lot of concrete apparently. Houses made of concrete.
Yeah.
Which I guess if you're waiting for a war, a concrete house is probably a good idea.
Well, yeah, but they still blow up.
Well, yeah, then they get bigger bombs and then you're landed.
But you're
in the
right.
middle
You're
of-
right about rules of war. I mean, they're just, they have the Geneva Conventions, and all of that.
Okay, yeah, we can't do this, we can't do that, we can't do this. Oh, collateral damage because, Bobby and whatever was next to the place where Hamas was living, and there's a grade school across the street.
Yeah. So it seems like you're living in where's it in Nevada again?
I'm outside of Fallon.
You're in suburban Fallon.
Yeah, 60 miles from Reno east in the middle of the desert.
And it was named after a late night show host. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, you live in Fallon. It sounds like you're happy with your life in Fallon.
I grew up in a small town to begin with. I grew up in a little town outside Yellowstone Park called Powell. It's right next to Cody, and I'm more comfortable in a small town. I just everybody. I had to go beat on the local doctor this morning
Yeah.
because they changed doctors in town. So, Marcus Welby is no longer here. We got another
Wait a
guy.
minute. They changed. Like, there's one doctor for the whole town.
In the majority of the case, I can answer yes to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's one guy everybody goes to. He's decided to retire. They found another guy,
Yeah.
but he was working at the hospital, and I'll use the word hospital in quotation marks.
Mm-hmm.
More like a vet clinic.
Mm-hmm.
But they got him, but he's got a lot of patients from the hospital, so he doesn't have time to go to the doctor's office. So this week, the doctor's office is only open on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I went over there because, we're old, you take pills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do I get my prescriptions refilled? The doctor has to okay that. But if the doctor isn't looking at anybody's prescriptions because he's working somewhere else, he's not okaying the prescriptions. So I'm about to run out of drugs, as is everybody else in town, by the way. Not just me, thousands of people. And the drugstores won't fill them unless he signs them, not the other guy who used to be the doctor.
Mm.
So now I find myself, I had to go over to the doctor's office, and then I found out he's not open on Thursday now. So now I probably got to go to the vet clinic / hospital. But if you need antibiotics, there's a horse husbandry place down the street. You can get those
Oh, okay. All right.
at the vet, basically.
Yeah.
But if you got acne or something, you can get that taken care of.
Yeah. Okay. How old are you? Woof. Woof. Woof.
Yeah, exactly. You go in there and they just point you to the amoxicillin section
That's
for
amazing.
cows and horses.
It's amazing. I would not.
I like it. You like it here. It's quiet, peaceful.
Yeah, I don't know but you know what it is? At my age, I want to be near a really good hospital.
Right. So you know what you do if you live in a place like this? You buy helicopter insurance. For the whole family.
Helicopter insurance?
Yep. It's like $50-$60 a year for your entire family.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a medical issue, helicopter.
Are you a subscriber?
Clinic / hospital here has a heliport. All the other places have a heliport. I can get heliported all the way to San Francisco.
And you pay for that?
$50.
$50.
A year. 50, 60. It's awesome. Now, if you don't have helicopter insurance and they need to use a helicopter, that's like 15 grand. But I have helicopter insurance.
You have helicopter insurance.
$50.
Well,
and they
that
can get
sounds
me wherever I need
Now,
to be.
let me. You say how many drugs do you take every day?
There's I don't know. There's a fistful.
Yeah, I take 6. I take 6.
Yeah, I probably take 12.
Really?
Maybe. But some of them are not, not.
Well, see, I want to go to a gerontologist. That's somebody who deals with old people, folks. I'm finally admitting it. And just have him check all my pills and what I'm taking and
Right.
what my conflict with others, because I'm lightheaded a lot. And I think it's one drug bouncing into another. And a gerontologist...
Every time I'm in there, I try to hey, can I get rid of this and this and this? And the guy's like, I wouldn't do that.
Well, you see, the thing is, they think pills are the solution to everything.
Right.
And eventually, I started out with one pill, like your cholesterol's too high. Here, take this. All right, fine. Then your thyroid's a little off. Take this.
Right.
And then before I know it, I'm up to 6, 7 pills. I've actually dropped a couple voluntarily that I felt weren't doing anything for me.
Yeah, my stepdad's sister, she carried her pills around in a fishing tackle box. That's how many she had.
Really?
She held the record. I mean, it was full. Fishing tackle box full of pills.
Son of a bitch.
She's still with us.
Really?
Maybe it's working. I don't know. What are we going to do?
Well, I am
alive, and then we're not going to be alive.
My friend Shecky found he was taking a lot of pills, and then one day he just said, I stopped taking them. I just felt that there were too many of them, and they were having a negative effect on me, and he just stopped them. And he said, I haven't felt bad. And then he died.
I don't think he died from not taking the pills.
Well, he didn't die from not taking
They were
the
not
pills.
keeping him alive.
There
But
might have been a couple of pills there that were helping.
Were you taking Flomax? You must be.
I was. I don't need it anymore.
Not anymore?
No, they flattened the hell out of my prostate,
Right.
So that, in fact, my doctor, the last time he stuck the finger up there, said, boy, it's gotten flat.
That's good.
Because I had radiation, I had seeds.
Right.
Okay.
But I thought.
In fact, I was thinking about it today. I was taking a pee. Is this good podcasting, folks?
Might be. You notice how we always move back to the doctor thing?
Yeah.
Where we're at, we're always into
if you go to dinner with old people, all you get is an organ recital.
all of it.
Yeah.
I can. Yeah.
But anyway, so I was taking a pee, and I thought to myself, I'm peeing like I was when I was 15.
Really?
Yeah, because
I'm not.
the prostate isn't blocking nothing.
Mine, I pee normally, and I always have, even though they put me on the Flomax. But apparently, the more you pee, the better it is for your prostate.
Oh, Flomax, pretty good deal. When I was having trouble, that was
almost
good.
everybody our age takes that.
Yeah, but I don't need it anymore, so I don't take it.
I don't. My wiener barely works.
Yeah. So you got
lays
that.
there.
Any other old people pills? Probably cholesterol you're taking.
Cholesterol, the heart thing, because I have AFib.
Oh, you have AFib. Oh.
I have AFib. That was a joy. That'll send you to ICU in a different town.
Helicopter time.
Yeah, you're taking a little trip. So I got AFib. It's under control, apparently.
Yeah.
And I take stuff for that. And I take Xarelto.
What's Xarelto? I've seen it
$1
added.
billion.
Huh?
Xarelto's that a blood thinner,
Oh, okay.
a high-tech blood thinner. It's the one with the commercials, and it works.
They charge a lot of money for that?
Yeah, it's, I want to say $2,200 a month or something.
But you don't pay that. You have insurance, right?
Right. I have Medicare.
Well, I have Medicare too.
Right. And
but
then
but I don't pay for. I don't get.
But then I have Blue Cross as well. So.
Yeah, but do you get which version of it do you have?
It's a straight Blue Cross. I don't have an Advantage plan.
Yeah, I suggest to people. I know it's going to cost you like $300 a month, maybe more, but don't get the Advantage. Number one, they kill your Medicare. They take over your Medicare, and it's just not as good because there are co-pays there and so on. You get the
my copay went away. I've had some.
I have no copay on anything with my.
I've not paid copay.
Yeah. But,
So.
See, what we talk about as we get older, folks. This is for you folks out there who are younger. Listen to me. By younger, I mean you're in your 50s. This is what you have to look forward to. Like I may be a healthier person than you are, because you've got all that weight and I don't. I have some, but not.
I'm tiny, very tiny.
Huh?
I'm very tiny.
You're very tiny.
Yeah.
The camera
the
the camera does put 10 pounds on you.
320, 30. And I mean, I can get to the car. I sit in the front seat.
Yeah.
I can walk to the mailbox. I mean, I don't. I do like to take the mobility cart thing around the grocery store.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
It's like, and then some of them have robots, and then I chase the robot around the store. That's what you do when you get older. You go to the grocery store. They have cleaning robots, and you chase. The cleaning robot.
If I go to Costco, I can use if I want to. But I just figure some walking is good for me.
Right, but Costco is a lot of walking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's probably too much for me.
Oh, okay. Well,
and I fell over too once, and now I have that stupid thing on my kidney, that hematoma thing.
Oh boy.
It won't go away because I'm taking a blood
Folks,
thinner.
I'm glad you joined us now for the organ recital.
Yeah, the organ recital. And I'm not getting the tooth fixed. I decided I like it.
Really? I see this.
Yeah, see?
But here's the difference. Let me just
missingteeth.com.
do this quickly. Here's the difference. In the old days, I would get an implant, right?
Me too.
This was pulled 2 weeks ago. I already have the implant in there. And then 2 months from now, they'll fit me for a tooth.
Now, man.
Really fast now. Really fast. Hey, listen, we've run out of time again.
God, we're having so much fun.
We
This
do.
is
We
what
have
we
a
do
lot-
now that we got old.
Yeah, well, this is all we have to
Now we
do.
know what we do when we get old.
Yeah.
You mentioned you and I in a grocery store. That would be awesome. We'll get carts and we'll cruise Costco.
We'll have a race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good time.
And then I can have my little cane, and I'll tell people,
I-
get out of
I
my
got-
way. Get out of my way.
Yeah, I got a cane. We actually hit the, hey, get off my lawn age.
Yeah.
We'll want to talk to each other. We don't want to talk to
But I
anybody
never
else.
owned a lawn, so I couldn't do that. Anyway,
Yeah,
listen, we've run out of time, my friend.
All right, buddy.
That's Chuck Farnham, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you
I'll be here
forget
taking
it.
pills.
Okay, bye-bye.
Now, in its 11th year, this is Gabnet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Yes. Thank you so much for. Oh, I'm going to turn on the lights here. There we go. Okay. There we go. That was Chuck Farnham. That's an old interview that we did with him. His father, or his stepfather, died. Shouldn't have to announce that to you. I haven't been able to do many interviews during the week because I have been sick in one way or another for the last couple of weeks. I did, what was it, 3 nights, 3 weeks. I have not done a Wednesday show because for 2 weeks, or for 1 week I had something, and then another week I had the back problems. And now I have had a hellacious cold, which I think may not be a cold. I think it might be, what do you call it? Allergies. But I don't know. I really don't know. And I got to tell you something. Can I complain about something? Oh, Alex, you want to complain about something? See, I always like to get these. These are Bounty paper towels. They're the quicker picker-upper. And the reason I like them is for blowing my nose and having a thing I can blow my nose on. This thing just lasts forever. Well, they've done something. And now, see, I can blow my nose in it. Now, you'll find me doing that a lot during the show tonight. And they get just really wet easily. They soak through. They don't tear apart or anything, but they don't. It's just terrible. They used to be able to just last, and you can still take them and put them in a washing machine, and then we'll put them through the dryer, and they'll come out okay. But they don't hold up well. If I blow into them a couple of times, it's just it's all see like that. That's what I'm talking about. So, anyway, does anybody know better paper towels than Bounty, the quicker picker-upper? Okay. Anyway, let me see here. I think it's time for us to go over and check in with our citizen panel. So I will start admitting them all. Here we go. I don't know if they missed me at all the last couple of nights, but anyway, does anybody know better paper towels than Bounty, the quicker picker-upper? Wait a minute. Somebody's got their speaker on.
Not me.
Not
Just
you.
took it off. Just got it off.
Huh?
I just turned it off.
Oh, you just turned it off. Okay, fine. Okay. Hello, Josh. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Alan.
Hello.
Hey,
Oh boy, you're excited to be.
Hello.
You're so excited to be here tonight.
My allergies.
I mean,
My allergies are killing me.
I think these are allergies. I'm really beginning to believe it's allergies.
Well, they're claiming in the United States allergies are a year-round thing. Probably not when it's snowing or raining, but other
No,
than
whenever
that,
it's raining, it tamps it down a little bit. But
Yep.
I mean, right now, I this morning it was raining a little bit, and I think I wasn't feeling as bad as I did yesterday. Yesterday I was feeling terrible, just terrible. So,
Just get some Aller Clear and take it every day, and you'll have no problem.
well, I have the one. Did you send me these? This is allergy relief. Were these the ones you sent me, or who else sent me those?
Does it say
Not me.
Zyrtec on it?
Hmm?
Home, HOM. Is that the brand?
Hold on a second. I got to put my glasses on to see the brand now.
They sent you
Troublemaker.
Aller Clear is the exact same thing as
Right.
Claritin,
Yeah. This is
Costco brand. It's cheap.
allergy relief.
What brand are they?
Ohm?
Yep, that's the ones I sent you.
Yeah.
Bottle of 100.
Yeah.
But if you want to get a better deal on it, I mean that was free, but a good deal if you want to buy them yourself is to get them at Costco. You can get, I think, 265 for $17 at Costco.
Yeah.
Of their Zyrtec is the drug.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to.
They're non-drowsy, supposedly.
Well, I don't mind if it's drowsy. I'm going to take a heavy-duty Benadryl tonight. Rich?
My doc years ago told me take every day,
Mm-hmm.
said 365, and you never have a problem. And I was somebody that you couldn't show me a picture of hay, and I would bust out.
Really?
And I haven't had allergies in years.
Really? What were you taking again?
I'm taking Aller Clear. It's the cheapest stuff. You get
Aller
it
Clear,
at,
that's the stuff you get at Costco, right?
yeah, it's the exact same thing as Claritin.
Yeah.
Take 4 of them a day, every day in the morning.
Let's see. Rich.
You take 4 of them a day?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking up this guy here who's trying to get on. Rich Scorsese. Oh, forget it. He's not anybody, I'm sure. Rich Scorsese? No.
Scorsese? No.
Scorsese? Yeah, right. He's probably trying to. Oh, well. Anyway, let me remove him so that he can be removed. I don't want to report him to Zoom yet. Okay. There we go. Anyway. I've been, I was just really ill yesterday. It was horrible. And so I just didn't do a show. Also, because Wednesdays I'm now starting to not do shows anymore. See, I got the cough. I got the runny nose. If people didn't know better, they'd think I was doing cocaine, so. Anyway, hello to all of you. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Josh. How have you been?
Doing good. How you doing?
Yeah, how's the job looking for thing?
It's going all right. Moving along.
Yeah? I mean, do you look like you'll have employment soon?
Yeah, maybe. There's some stuff,
Yeah.
going on.
The problem with Josh is he quit where he was to go somewhere else, and he went back to the place he was at, and then he had a friend who wanted to come to work for him. So he went over to this place, and then another company took over and fired everybody or something, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. Not a great time to be unemployed or anything else, Terrible. What do you think about the fact that our president has apparently, it seems, engaged in insider trading?
That's what it seems like, doesn't it?
Yeah. Doesn't he know that, even if he didn't do the trading, okay, the fact that he had people who did, because he was bragging in the White House today on how rich some people had gotten in the last couple of days. Well, how did they get rich if they didn't know what was going to happen?
Yep. Insider trading.
So what they probably did is they bailed out as soon as Big Mouth told them, I'm gonna do this. And look at what happened. Do you think they'll ever catch him having done that?
Catch them? Maybe. Prosecute them? No.
Well, it certainly doesn't.
They'll catch them, but they won't do nothing about it.
That's what I just
Yeah,
said.
yeah. It's a shame. It's a real shame.
I wish he would tell me when he's going to raise the tariffs and lower it so I could buy and sell my stock.
Oh,
like
hell,
that.
if you had known on, what was it, on Wednesday or something beforehand,
Yeah.
you just sold everything you had. And
Tuesday it
then
was
bought
sold
it back
everything I
bought it back today.
Right.
And ain't
Tuesday
doing
was-
so good today either.
No,
No.
but you'd buy back today. You wouldn't be taking the hit you would take if you had not sold
Yeah, it's true.
a couple of days ago,
Right.
So anyway, he told all his friends what was going to happen, and they knew, and they went out and sold their stock. And he brags about how much money his friends had made.
While the rest of the country suffers.
Well, didn't he also do a thing where he went on and he said, "Hey, everybody, now's the time for you to buy stock."
In DJT is what he said.
DJT? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's his company. Oh, boy. Well, anyway, what's your take on it, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of it was purposeful or whatever, but it's if you have, it's obvious, if the market is down and you have money and you can afford to wait, that, you can go buy stocks that are down that are guaranteed to rebound, so if you know that change is coming and you can afford to tie your money up, which
Well, no, but you're not going to tie your money up. What you're
Yeah.
going to do is you're going to sell high and then buy low.
right, but I mean also, there is, if the market goes way down,
Mhm.
stocks are cheaper. I mean, that is a good time to buy stock. If you told me, I know certain companies. I mean, I used to work for one where the stock has done nothing except go up year over year for,
Mhm.
40 years. So it's expensive stock. So if you can go in there and you have, several millions of dollars worth of money you could tie up, you go in there and you buy a lot of their stock on a day like that when it's its lowest point in several years, and then that ties your money up there. But if you wait just, let's just say a year or whatever, you'll get,
Or a day.
right. I mean, but I'm just saying with certain companies like that,
Mhm.
Yeah.
a year from now you'll probably make 10%, which
Yeah.
is pretty good return.
Warren Buffett was on Fox News the other day, and he said it looks like insider trading to him. That's a man that would probably know.
What did he say?
He said he was on Fox News being interviewed, and they said, what do you think about the stock going up and down? Whenever Trump speaks, the stock moves up and down." And he says, "Well, it sounds like insider trading to me."
The point is that
He doesn't know,
think
but
I don't think the people or the media should focus too much on over and over again using the word insider trading, because it's not going to go anywhere. Trump's not going to be charged with any crime.
no,
He's not going to
no,
get
it isn't.
impeached. He's not going to go to jail. That they should be focusing on is how much money it costs average working people and their retirement funds.
Well,
That is going to take a long time to come back to where they were. I mean, that's what they really need to be
yeah,
focused
the
on.
next question was, would you buy into this market? And he said, absolutely not. So he gave what he thought was happening, and then he gave advice. Don't buy into it right now. Sit on the sidelines.
Who said that? Warren Buffett. Yeah.
Yeah, while he probably was buying $10 billion worth of stock or something. I
Well,
don't know.
it is low. It did go pretty low.
It did go.
And I don't know that it's going to go much lower. I mean, it was bound. I knew it was bound to rebound at a certain point. I mean,
my portfolio is managed by Morgan Stanley,
mhm.
and they came out with a buy on a couple days ago of Apple Computer and Tesla. So, and I think in the long run, both of those companies are going to do well.
Well, are they going to do well? How well do you think Apple's going to do in the next year with these tariffs against China?
Well, last time Trump put tariffs against China, Apple was able to be excluded from it. So
But they aren't this time. They aren't this time.
Well, we'll see what happens. I think they're still working.
I
on it.
wouldn't buy Apple right now.
Well, I wouldn't either, but you know, it was just,
That doesn't mean that all the costs of all the other people, like Samsung and so on, are going to go up too, because they're made in
that's right.
countries where tariffs are being levied. So, excuse me if I cough tonight, folks.
That's okay. He looks like a pussy, you know. He can't even hold. He puts all these tariffs on, causes all this drama. Then there's all this public outcry, even from the Republicans. Then he decides to back off. Forget about the market. I mean, just look at what he looks like, you know.
Did you get what the Republicans said? Well, this was his plan all along.
Absolutely,
Right.
same thing. Everybody's saying the same thing.
You know, and what a smart guy he is, and how he is just a great businessman.
Yeah, well,
Now, that's one of the biggest myths in America. You know,
who goes bankrupt in a casino?
Donald Trump.
Yep, probably one of the very few.
Well, you can go broke with a casino. It
Even
happens.
during depressions and stuff, casinos do well. People go, you know, with their last few dollars or their kids' college fund or something like that, and they go gambling because it makes them feel good.
Yeah,
You
but in
know?
most cases, they don't have any money left.
Not
You know,
that-
you got to have money
some
first
people do.
before you're going to do that.
I have a good sized stock portfolio, but I also have cash on the side, so I
No,
didn't
but
need
you're
to
not the average family.
No, I'm not. It's
Yeah.
just me. It's just me.
You know, and the average family barely has enough money to to keep the family afloat.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
it's
I help a couple of my neighbors keep food on their table for dinner
yeah,
that are hurting.
it's gonna be rough. I mean, yeah, I took a hit, but it's a hit I could afford to take.
Well, if you don't
You know,
sell it, it won't matter.
But I don't have kids,
right.
and I got a wife. That's it. That's she and I. And so let's say, we're down 100,000. Let's just say that for grins. I don't think we're down that much. But let's just say we are. We still got a lot of money. So what the hell?
Yeah. Well, the only thing you
know.
got more than I got is you got a wife. I don't have a wife.
Well,
Your wife is productive. She still works, doesn't she? Or
no.
something like-
Oh, no. Oh, no. Not for
Oh,
quite
I
a while.
thought she was still working.
Oh, no. No. She's, she hasn't worked in a while.
Well, I mean, they should just, like I said, they need to focus on people that are getting hit really hard that can't afford to wait, you know? I mean, again, like, would you buy Apple stock? I mean, but these are questions that people with money can ask themselves. Like, if I could afford to wait 5 years, if I want to make money in 2025, the answer might be no, I wouldn't buy Apple stock. But if I'm okay with getting money in 2030, then I probably would go buy it, right? Because
Right.
if it's in the shitter today and I could afford to buy $25,000 worth of Apple stock, in 5 more years that might be $150,000. But
That's right.
again, these are questions people with money ask themselves. Democrats need to be talking to people who don't have money, and they need to be hitting them hard. They need to be saying, "Hey, listen, okay, with all this shit that's going on, okay, if you were going to retire this November, okay, and now you can't, and you just found out you got to work another 3 more years because of this dickhead, and you voted for him, then good for you. Please invite me to your I'm not retiring, I have to work another 3 years party, because I want to show up and sit in the corner and watch you fucking pout over it, okay?
Yeah, and
Because
and
you
look at you
fucking did
and
this
look
to
at you with these
yourself.
looks that say, "And you voted for him."
Yes, you
yeah.
did this to yourself. So you tell me where the party is, and I'll bring a big old cake that says congratulations that you get to work another 3 years. I mean,
Because of
good
this
for you.
dickhead. Yes,
Because
Jeff.
if you
Yeah.
had $580,000, now you only have $380,000. That's quite the hit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jeff?
We went to the store just to get food.
Oh yeah.
Oh, by the way, something that Trump refers to as you may not know it, and so I will elucidate. He calls them groceries.
Never heard of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
I know what groceries used to be.
A bag
that
of
were-
things.
Yeah, those things. Anyway, it's very expensive to buy for the same stuff that you would buy, before Trump.
That's right. Yeah.
Unbelievable. And
I
there's
agree.
a lot of people that I know who really work their ass off all the time, still. And you know what? They can't afford as much food.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what Morgan Stanley was saying is they were saying it to everybody, Josh. And I didn't rush out and buy Apple or Tesla. I don't like Tesla, so I would never buy them. I do like Apple, and I think Apple will go back up, but I don't feel like investing any more in the stock market myself. Just kind of what you said. I don't,
Well,
I'm in my
well,
60s.
the
I'm gonna be
reason
around.
the reason I think Apple's going to be in trouble is because in the current, you know,
Climate.
climate, they're going to have to pay a lot to get their stuff over here. I mean, if they make their phones in China, those things are going to go up 135%. All right.
They're
Now, they're
workaround.
expensive enough as they are already. Do you think that the average American wants to pay 135% more for an Apple?
No,
You know.
definitely not. There are workarounds to these things.
Well, there are
So
workarounds for Apple.
Apple builds part of their phones in India. India isn't hit with 104.
But where do the parts come from?
Yeah, well, of course, China.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. You
But
know.
the CEO of Apple said, "Well, we will make more phones in India, and we will ship them."
Yeah,
Or
and
Apple.
and still the parts they're going to have in order to build those phones have to come from China.
Yeah, well, they may not get hit by the tariff thing is a real mess. What this guy's doing, he's just
Well, he's doing away with tariffs on almost everything right now for 90 days, and you know he's never going to bring them back. You know that.
Probably not.
He just
Yeah,
wants
probably.
everybody to notice they're gone and then not bring them back, and then nobody's going to say, hey, look at you. You didn't stick with the deal, you know.
The other lady, the order the deal. Like, he fucked up. Everybody knows it. They're trying to make it like he's so smart.
What happened was there was a myth that was created around Donald Trump that he was a big money guy. And the fact is he wasn't. He really wasn't.
inherited
Now
most
my
of it.
eyes are tearing. What?
Because you lost money too.
He inherited. Yeah, he inherited most of it.
Yeah, he was not a bright guy.
No. And when he talks about going to the grocery store, when's the last time Donald Trump ever went to a grocery store? He thinks you go over to the what did he say? The egg freezer?
Did he say that?
Yeah, the egg freezer. Yeah, you go get your some eggs out of the freezer.
Sure.
And he doesn't.
Freezer.
Yeah.
Do you think he ever cooked his own meal once?
Never.
Never. Not even put a cereal, like open the cereal and pour it in a bowl for himself. He wouldn't even do it.
He might have done that once or
You think he
twice.
did it maybe, right?
When he was a kid.
The man that gets to sit on solid gold toilets. I mean, toilet seats.
Well, I mean, he is when he starts talking about groceries, he doesn't know about groceries. He doesn't know what they cost. He said eggs are down 60%.
Yeah.
You know what the price of them is today at Costco? The same price
$8.
2 dozen were a week ago.
Yeah, I
2
bought the
weeks
same 2 dozen.
ago.
I've been using egg beaters too, Alex, and I put 1 egg in and a little egg beater in it. It's fine. Just to cut back a little bit, cut back my cholesterol.
You
Yeah.
make some
I
really
yell at
funny
that guy.
things,
Fuck.
Tony.
What?
I told you. I'm going to tell you, if you're going to invest, I don't want to be like Buffett. I would stay away from Apple, like Alex said. You're better off investing in Microsoft because of the cloud technology, and they're not going to get hit with the tariffs, Microsoft.
Well, Microsoft, let's see, who would I invest in?
I would take Microsoft.
Cisco.
Cisco's not a
They
bad
make
one.
routers. So
They're not a bad company,
They make
though.
80% of the routers for the world.
But you want to laugh, Alex? You know when I bought into Apple? When they were on the balls of their ass and Bill Gates bailed them out. And before Jobs came back with that next technology, I must have got them for like $35 a share.
Well, he
They were
started.
going to go out of business. So
Wait a
that's
minute,
what that's what he saved them.
he started next after he started next after he left
He
Apple.
got exonerated, thrown out.
Thrown out of Apple. And
I thought I was going to lose my money with him.
And what he brought with him when he came back, when they hired him back, is he just brought all the technology from Next,
Yep.
and that was the basis for the more current stuff that he's doing. So,
You know what I was going to ask you guys?
well,
Alex?
he isn't doing it anymore. He's dead. But
I was just going to say that, Alex. Do you think they're not innovating anymore since he's gone? What do they really have in the pipeline?
I don't think Apple's been innovating in a long time.
That's what I'm scared
You
of
know,
now.
they keep trying to say, "Oh, hey, we have the new Apple iPhone, and here's what it does: it takes better pictures than it did last time." Oh, wait a minute, that's not improving anything. You know?
It does it faster. It uses AI. But
Wait a minute,
the
it
AI
uses
thing has been a
wait a
joke.
minute, it uses AI. Have you heard about them and AI?
No, my phone won't work with the AI.
Well, that's right. That's what they're beginning to find. It's a big sham where Apple is concerned.
Yep. Yep.
Plus,
Nothing.
AI is, it's not a big deal.
We've been using it for years.
I mean, AI will be good in a few years and will be worthy of the kind of praise it's getting in a few years. It's also going to put you out of work and everybody on this panel as well.
Some of us aren't working, so.
Yeah, well, you better stop working, go with the flow,
So the only one that's not working, we all want to see him go back to work as soon as possible.
Well, because we like him.
He's the middle square on my thing, Josh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope he I didn't realize you were out of work.
The internet, that stinks.
Well, that's I have no doubt that Josh will get himself land on his feet very nicely.
Well, he's educated and he's going for his PhD. He'll be Dr. Josh soon, so
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll find something.
we'll get him a TV show, Dr. Josh.
I don't know what that's right. I don't know what the work market's like where you're at in the state you're in. I know what state you're in, but anyhow, so.
Well, from what I know about his job category, it's a group that still needs workers. Okay, so but nobody wants to hire radio announcers anymore.
No. No, they can get an iPhone to do it.
Yeah, exactly. No, they can use AI to replace the announcers. No question about it.
This is the Alex Bennett Show live. By the way, we're using AI. Alex is not really here.
It's not a personality, though. I would tune into somebody for their personality. Like, I got to hear what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It sounds so sterile.
Well, you like that, but the guys who run the radio stations don't like it. If they can use AI to voice stuff, and they don't have to hire a guy like me at like $200,000-$300,000 a year, then they're going to go with the automated voice. What the hell? AI, go for it.
Yeah.
But you know what, Alex? When you would sell advertisements, I mean, wouldn't that mean something for a live person to push a product or something?
No.
No?
No, they can do that with AI. Excuse me, folks. I'm just.
You got a cold? Or is that allergies, Alex?
I don't know what it is. It's either
I think a little bit of a cold or the mixture. Like, yeah, I took my allergies.
It's either a cold or it's allergies.
Yeah, because I get allergies like that too. Do you take this Zyrtec that Alan gave me? He gave me that Zyrtec.
I don't know. I'm going to do some Benadryl tonight.
Yeah, I would do that too. Yeah,
to put me to sleep. But I mean, it's just been horrible. Just been horrible.
It does work. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just one big pile of phlegm.
I hate allergies when it gets like that. When my eyes start burning,
right now it's a 10 out of 12 here.
A good way to find out if you have allergies is if you're outside and you're sneezing and all this is going on. If you come inside, the air is usually not infested with pollen.
I don't know. There's no way the windows aren't open, but I have a funny feeling it's still getting in. Okay.
How about buying HEPA filters for $200?
I have a HEPA filter. That doesn't work.
Oh, really?
Well, you know what it is? They got these HEPA filters, and then they got a big filter you put in it, right? Now you want to replace the filter? $50. Why
But how
can't
many-
Why can't I just wash that thing out and put it
You could
back
do it like
in?
an air conditioner. So yeah, you could just clean it out with water. or
What I've
something.
tried doing is dusting it off, but it never really worked well, you know. Anybody here have HEPA filters in their place? Does it work for you?
Yes.
Can you change them?
Really?
I have a Honeywell that's got
Oh,
it's made for 500 square feet. It sits in my bedroom, which is like maybe 150 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like
Yeah. Well,
that.
I have like a bedroom that's 300 square feet.
Right.
you better-
Well, okay, maybe my bedroom's 200, but I use hand sanitizer in here, pump it out, get the alcohol in the air. It goes all the way down the hall, and the air purifier speeds up. Because it's good for 500 square feet. I mean, it's
And
grabbing
your
up
whole
the air in the
apartment
hall.
smells of Purell. Okay.
Absolutely.
I can see the window flow.
I like.
Well, there's
I'd love to
I like
hang out at your.
Thermix.
I'd love to hang out at your place between that and probably the air freshener.
Absolutely, I hate air freshener. I don't like scents.
Marjorie can't stand air fresheners.
I can't either.
Bothers my nose. Yeah.
Hmm?
It bothers my nose. When the allergies
You're
come
not
out,
supposed to spray it in your nose, Tony.
I don't like the smell of it. It gets to me. Like I go to my sister's house. I was like, oh, I can't take it. I was like, oh
I don't like dryer sheet smell either.
no. I just,
Oh, they smell wonderful to me.
Oh, good.
Well, some people like that smell. Marjorie can't stand it. Marjorie
No.
is allergic to it.
Yeah, so
You
am
know.
I.
I don't mind it. I don't care, but it's kind of a phony smell.
yeah.
You know.
It's, yeah.
Anything artificial, yeah.
I mean, it is artificial. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the only one here that has a HEPA filter is you.
I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I use really high-end 3M filters in my furnace too, and air conditioner furnace, and that traps pollen too.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, we have some new Alex Bennett, new Gabnet promos here.
Oh.
Every year, our voice of Gabnet does them, and then we get like something like this.
Now, in its 11th year, this is Gabnet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Boy, do I feel exhausted.
I think that's a great. He did a good job
Yeah,
on it.
11 years. Wow.
Wait a minute, I throw the music on there. He just does the announcing. He sounds
Yeah.
great, though. He really sounds
Yeah,
great.
He does.
Is that Rob?
No, it's not Rob.
No.
Oh, I thought it was Rob.
What's his name?
Steve Fox.
Steve Fox. Yeah.
Oh,
He's here in the Bay Area, Tony.
Yeah, the problem is that, what's his name, who was doing our old voice overs? Rob. Moved to the Philippines.
Philippines. Have you ever
Don't
heard
ask
from-
me why he found that a good time. I don't know. I don't understand it. And so we have some new, So we're using Steve.
Why?
Steve's great. And I also use Albert Reynoso, too, to do some. So,
See, you're still a big wheel.
Huh?
You're still a big shot.
I'm still a big shot.
You got a money manager. You got guys doing this and guys doing that for your station.
Well, my money manager every year felt bad for me, so he only used to charge me a certain amount for my doing my taxes every year, and he also handles my money and keeps track of how much I spend and what I spend it on. And this year, he raised the price by $1,500 because he suddenly realized I've got money now.
oh man.
So I said, I don't get the poor people discount anymore? He says, no way.
Was it because of the tariffs?
No,
Yeah.
Because of the tariffs?
no.
What did he say too? Trump. He said, "Oh, you know what I laughed when he said too? Didn't he say they were getting panicky? This is from the same guy. Didn't they sell his DJT stock to kids? I thought they sold it or something.
What was I? What was it? What was the term he used? He didn't use the term panicky. There was another
What was
term
it
he
again?
used.
It was something like, yeah.
Yeah, some
Like he's making fun of people who lost their shirts for the last 3 weeks. I mean, really.
Well,
A panic
what's the
hitter.
first thing this asshole did when he raised gave everybody the tariffs? He immediately went down to Florida and played golf with the Saudis, with the Saudis of all people. That's kind of like Marie Antoinette saying, "Let them eat cake."
That really is, yeah.
And you know what they did to Marie Antoinette?
Yeah.
In a hurry. Did they kill her?
Head.
Huh?
They killed her, right?
Yeah.
Well, God forbid anything happens to him. It'll be self-induced with a Big Mac, probably. Like,
Yeah.
I think he does eat that McDonald's because he looks quite big.
What? Who?
Trump, I think he does eat the junk food, like they say.
No, he looks a little thinner to me.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, maybe.
I don't know. How many here vote that he looks thinner? How many here vote for the fact that he looks like the same old fat pig he always was?
Yes.
Okay.
Except his hair, it looks worse.
Yeah, it doesn't look.
He ran out of orange dye. It's now silver in color.
Yeah. Well, this gets us nowhere, right? It only makes us feel good.
It does make me feel a little good when you insult him. No, it does.
Yeah,
It's
but
random,
what's that going to do? It's not going to change anything.
Just scares the shit.
And although his approval rating is down to 40% now.
Oh my God, that's good. But he'll swear at 60%. You got a mandate.
Huh?
If I hear about him every time you hear me, he's always saying, "And I got a mandate, and I won."
No,
and
I haven't. They have betting odds in Vegas, and you can get those betting odds if you go on to things like FanDuel and things like that.
Oh, I have it. I should go on to one of my things.
Yeah,
what is
well,
it?
anyway, they will take a bet on anything.
Really, will.
They'll take a bet on how long it will take a team to gain 1 point or something. They one of a number of things they will allow you to bet on. I think there should be a bet on how long a speech by Donald Trump will go before he mentions Biden.
Yep.
I'm figuring 10 minutes, if that. Yeah. I mean, why does he feel so compelled to spend his time putting down Biden? I'm sorry, Donald. You may not have noticed, but Biden is no longer president of the United States. You are. But he's always got to compare himself to Biden, and it's just amazing to me. I don't believe it. Why do you think he does it, Josh?
Yeah, it's part of his little game that he runs, his little routine. Psychology-wise, I would imagine he's got some kind of inferiority complex or some shit like that. To be honest with you, I mean, he's a vain, weak human being. That's, if you ask me why. I mean, I'm not a psychologist, but I have enough understanding of people to. I mean, he's a weak person, thinks only of himself. He's very vain. I mean, he needs you to like him more than you like other people, things like that. So I think that's why he does it. Like I said, as soon as someone actually wakes up and starts slapping him around and punching him in the face every day, day after day, the way that he tries to do to people, things will start to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's no one willing to do it.
That's right.
Well, some of the Republicans are starting to turn against him. Some of them.
Yeah, but you know what their strategy is? They say extra nice to him.
What do you mean?
That's their new strategy. Is the only way you can talk to Trump about anything is they say.
But some of them have gotten to the point where they don't care. The Republicans don't. Some of the Republicans don't care. I saw a list of about 10 Republicans or something that are now against him. And you see that approval rating go down some more, and these people want to get reelected back in their home states, and they're not going to be as nice to Donald Trump as they once were.
Yeah, I mean, they just have to. I mean, he's going to do what he does, so they just have to play back at him with these same things. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know, 2 weeks ago or whatever, they have this big announcement where they're going to fire all these workers at the Department of Education, and they're out there and they're just so proud that they're firing thousands of people at the Department of Education. And he literally says, and they got these very generous compensation packages, and he does this whole thing, and believe me, they were very generous. I mean, anybody that lives the way that I do knows that the only people who talk like that and talk about compensation packages being generous to government workers are people who have money. The only people who label packages like that as generous are people who have money. It's not a very generous package if you still have 14 more years left on your mortgage. You
Yeah.
know, I don't care if you got a year's pay. If you got a year's full pay and you still have 14 years on your mortgage, what good did it do you? I mean, that's not generous. You don't need a generous package if you still have 14 years to pay on
Well,
your
you have
house.
to
You need
understand.
a fucking job for the next 14
Yeah, but
years.
this is an asshole businessman who
Right.
thinks that by being generous is by simply giving you, 16 weeks of pay.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
I mean,
And the fact is, people can't live on that.
right. These are the only people who talk that way are rich people. And he has this press conference, and he stands there with the Secretary of Education, billionaire, the Secretary of Commerce, billionaire, the Secretary of Treasury, billionaire. I mean, like, come on. Democrats can't make people understand that. Give me a break. Start hitting him
Well,
just as
but I was watching the CBS Evening News, which I've come to watch now on a regular basis, okay? Because I like the kind of stories they do. And they were doing a story tonight about people in South Carolina, and they were asking them about what Trump has done with the tariffs. And they said, oh, he's going to save America. I mean, these people actually believe that. What are you going to do?
let him learn the hard lesson then.
Well, they're going to learn.
And go find a gruffy looking, tough talking Democrat, not Adam Schiff or any of these other, people who drone on and on about shit no one's going to listen to go start talking about this shit and say, I'm running and I'm going to go to Washington and I'm going to see if I can walk around without bumping into a billionaire. Because I don't think it can happen in this administration. I'm just going to walk around the White House grounds and I'm just going to bump into people and I'm going to see how many people it takes me to bump into before I run into someone who's not a billionaire. Because the billionaires are in Washington and they're making all the decisions for people like you.
Yep.
I mean, just let that message start working in.
Well, I mean,
know?
you're absolutely right. Bernie Sanders, who I continue to love, I mean, he's just been terrific lately. It gets on TV last night on CNN, and he's saying, "Hey, folks, you got it all wrong. The discussion we should be having here is how a whole class of human beings in this country is not being represented. And that there's too much money." That they're not being taken away from them and from things that they should.
They got to go find somebody who can talk about it and sell it. I mean, people.
Well, he's doing a good job of selling it. The only problem is the people who listen to him then hear the word socialist,
Right, but
and
I mean,
then
he's
they get
also,
scared.
I mean, he's not going to be president, and he's advanced in
no.
age, and I mean, they just get somebody to say, listen, these people running this stuff right now, okay, in my part of the country, these are the same people that gave your father's father black lung in the coal mines of West Virginia so they could make their fortune on the backs of people like them. My grandfather died of lung cancer and black lung at 65 years old and never had a damn day's worth of real retirement in his entire life so that a bunch of coal miners in West Virginia could make a shit ton of money that they're still swimming around in today long after he's been dead. And this guy, and just keep going and going and going and just tell people, can you not remember what your father,
I'll tell you
your
who's doing.
grandfather told you.
I'll tell you who's also doing it
go
with
ahead.
Bernie Sanders and is on tour with him, is Ocasio-Cortez, and she seems to be, to me, she should be the voice of the Democratic Party. She says things so well, and between she and Bernie, they get large crowds, getting humongous crowds. So somebody is saying it, but the trouble is they're probably saying it. They're preaching to the choir. Okay, that's the problem.
So go get an appealable person that can start hammering him and get people to start listening to it. I mean, and like I said, it's not going to be, people aren't going to listen to Chuck Schumer, right? People aren't going to listen to Adam Schiff. And I'm not saying that I dislike those people or whatever. I mean, I'm just trying to give you the political reality of it. You know what I mean? Like, go find someone, from, and I don't think this dude's the answer either, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, go find someone who's a John Fetterman without maybe some of the eccentricities that come with the fact that he can't dress like he has a job.
One who can put on some pants. I think.
Right. I mean, maybe a little bit less crackhead looking. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like slightly, but can communicate a little bit better, but will carry the message. I mean, it's just like figure it out.
Yeah. Well,
hit them hard.
Mm-hmm.
It just, if they're coming at you, this finesse game it's not going to work, so start hitting him for this garbage. I mean, any other president who runs his mouth day after day for a week and cost everybody in the whole country, hundreds of thousands of dollars in their 401k would already be out on his ass. So get back to that, because that's the problem here. This is all because of him running his mouth and this tariff garbage and all that, and make people understand it.
Yep, absolutely. Jeff, you're an older person. Are you having a hard time of making ends meet at your age?
I'm not.
But you saved enough money, right?
Not only that, I had a business, and I sold it.
Yeah.
And I made it out.
Yeah, okay, so you're
I
not.
worked 40 years at one thing.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
How about you, Kevin? How difficult is it for you? I know you're not incredibly wealthy.
No, I'm paycheck to paycheck, but my wife works too still, so.
Yeah.
This shit hurts.
It hurts? Yeah. How about you, Charlie?
Yeah, I'm on a pension and Social Security, so hey.
Well, you got a pension from the state of Texas, which was pretty good, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But I can't afford prices to be jacked up 40 or 50%.
No, we can't eat.
Yeah, they're at what? They say it's going to cost $4,400 more a year for the average American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent, though. It's a pretty decent month's pay or something,
A lot of money to most people.
Well, I mean, in real money, and that's net, right? So in order to net that to come home, you need to make 3 times that in gross wages.
Yep.
So, listen, folks, if you're not going to get a $12,000 or $13,000 a year raise from your work starting today, this is a problem for you. Okay? When's the last time you got a $12,000 raise the first of the year,
Never.
right? It ain't never, explain that shit to working people.
2 to 3%.
Yeah.
Been like that for years.
Right. I mean, just explain that shit to working people who work at hourly wage and all this other stuff, who know that that's not going to happen for them.
I honestly still think that those people will not listen, number one, and they don't understand it.
Right.
Number two, I hear it all the time about how he's a savior, and this guy is living off of Social Security alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got a particular cousin that spouts off all the time on on social media, and I looked at it and I went, dude.
Yeah, so Democrats need to abandon the idea that they're going to be able to save everybody from this and there ain't going to be any pain. I said that weeks ago. Fuck those people. Let them fucking have some pain.
He keeps pounding them and saying that, and they're saying,
No,
okay, well, we'll wait for you, Mr. Trump. We'll wait for you.
Right.
Donnie, save us.
They just need to go spread the message and keep hitting him hard. But don't worry about them people that live on food stamps when the food stamps go away. Fuck them people.
What you've got to kill is the myth that Donald Trump is good with money. You know, I mean, that is the thing that a lot of these people said. Well, you know, we're relying on him because he's a good businessman. Well, I got to tell you something.
Exactly.
Look at all the people that have been president of the United States. They've been, for the most part, they've been governors, right?
Yeah.
Then there have been some senators, and I don't know if there were any Congress people that became president. I'm trying to think of one. But the fact of the matter is, how many of them have been businessmen? One. Donald Trump. Can you name another president that was a businessman? Nobody said, okay, let's make Rockefeller president.
Yeah.
You know, let's make Carnegie president. No. Nobody
Well, Rockefeller was vice president.
Rockefeller was vice president. You're right. But nobody ever voted for him by saying they're good with money. You know, but also you got to remember Rockefeller was also a governor
Yes,
of the state of New York.
Yeah.
So if he had become president, he certainly would have served as a governor, you know. So
certainly had more bona fides than Trump.
oh, well, he knew how to make money. His family was good at that, you know. But he, you know, Trump isn't good at making money. Come on, he had a TV show called The Apprentice. That's supposed to be his bona fides? Give me a break.
Bankruptcies.
If that's a bona fide, having a TV show, then let's make David Letterman president of the United States. You know?
You do better than Trump.
It's pure ego, really, by Trump. He sold himself, and they believe it. Really, that's really.
What was his mentor? Cohen said, "Never admit you're wrong."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You've never heard him admit he's wrong.
He lives on Roy Cohen.
Yeah. So, well, you see how wet this has gotten? See? These bounties don't do the job anymore. And I use them all the time for when I had to, you know, blow my nose and everything because I knew I'd put it in my pocket, I'd bring it back out. It was almost completely dry. Look at it. Look at it.
And you know what I was going to tell you guys too? I also think, I mean, this is just my opinion. I told this to my brother.
Yeah.
And this is probably my generation. I'm going to say my generation. I think they got very selfish and anointed Trump the president. I don't think it's your generation, Alex, as much.
Oh, no. My generation would have never voted for Donald Trump.
No, I mean, I think it's my generation, that 80s generation. I think they look at him as some kind of icon or something.
Although Phil, who's used to call this program, Phil was my generation, kind of my generation. Not completely, but kind of my generation.
I mean, I could be wrong. It's just my opinion. It's like, and I think the young guys, they kind of like him because they like how he just rips people apart. So maybe they have inadequacies themselves, and they look into this guy and say, "Hey, you know what? He acts like an asshole. I kind of like this guy. It's not potential."
Phil is 15 years younger than you.
Yeah,
Like
but
There are aspects.
Uneducated voter, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are aspects they can borrow from the way they do things or whatever. Like I said, I could appeal to certain Republican voters with some of the things that I would say or some of the things that I want to do. If I were running against Trump and they asked me, what are you going to do to help all these people who are, on food stamps and Medicaid or whatever, I'd just be like, I'll tell you what I'm going to do for them. I'm not going to do shit for them. I'm not going to do a fucking thing for them. You know why? Because they went and voted for my opponent, so they can fucking live with it. I'm going to help the people who are willing to fucking work and fucking come help me fix this country. And for the people who are still in love with him, not gonna do shit for him. There you go.
Well, certainly we're not going to feel sorry for any of
Fuck 'em.
them that suddenly find that they've lost their job or they don't have any money anymore because of the tariffs or any number of other things. We're not going to feel. Are you going to feel bad for them?
No.
I can run around. And say
Hey,
stupid
you
shit
voted
like that.
for him. You got to live with it, pal. I didn't, so I can complain.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like we were on the right side of history, and I like that. I mean, I never would have voted for him anyway. And like, I was talking to my uncle Alex, and he's all complaining to me. I don't work there, and he goes, "Oh, because they get a lot of goods from China." I said, "Oh no, the stuff from China was garbage for how long? Most of your customers didn't want it. He just liked it because his profit margin was bigger. I can give a shit less."
Well, it's not going to be. It's not going to be bigger any longer.
I hope they can't sell shit. I don't really care. I mean, I don't mean it to be mean, but hey, you didn't want to, you get what you deserve, really. They probably voted for him anyway, this loser.
You get what you deserve.
Yeah, I mean, my brother's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, who cares?
But then again, as a person who believes in an America where we care about each other, I really should care about those people, even though they didn't vote for the guy I wanted them to vote for. But there it goes, boy.
With loose, Alex. Put some Vicks on your chest later, man. That's what my mother would say.
Yeah. I think we have some Vicks in the house.
That's what my mother used to do to me. Put the Vicks
Put
on.
all those wet paper
You know what
towels on
Marjorie
your
said her mother used to do? She used
What's
to
that?
put Vicks in her mouth.
Why the mouth, Alex?
I don't know.
I heard it cures COVID.
My mother used to put it on my chest and then heat
Oh,
it.
you can rub it on a chest. Yeah.
Yeah,
Heat it.
I can see rubbing it on your chest, but
That
you
was
know,
magic stuff, right?
I don't know that I have a cold. I mean, I
Vicks and
think this,
7-Up, right, Jeff?
this could very well be allergies because you can't. Many times you can't tell the difference between allergies and a cold.
That's right.
I felt it in my eyes today when I was walking the dog. That's when I took my Zyrtec when I came in early.
Yeah. Did you give one to the dog too?
No, Kansas, he was looking at me. He was slowing up. And his poop was a little soft, so I was bending down, picking it up. Because I always
Do
pick
animals get allergies?
I don't know if he does.
Yep.
Sometimes his eyes tear big.
They
Ken.
do, you say, Kevin?
Yep.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that. So they're subject to allergies.
His eyes tear a little bit. I noticed it.
They
Something.
can, your vet can give you an antihistamine pill for them, just like
Yeah.
people.
Oh, really? Okay. We'll try putting Vicks in his mouth.
I
I don't know why she thinks that Vicks in the mouth is a good idea.
I don't know. My mother used to heat it up and then put my head over it, like breathe it in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They
With
do
a plastic bag.
that. Yeah.
To get
Yeah, in
over
his
there,
case,
get
it
it-
was a plastic bag. Yeah.
Wow, you're gonna
Yeah.
kill me. It's good, do it.
It's a plastic bag.
Your mother didn't have to go to medical school.
No, Jeff, she put my head on. I remember it. Remember it. So how can I forget? Keep your head in there, Ma. I can't breathe. It's
Well,
good.
they had the vaporizers, and you would put Vicks in there, and
Yeah.
the vaporizers would.
He did it in a bowl, like in the bathroom. It was the cheap way, like the hot water. Hurry up, go in there.
Yeah, turn on the hose.
I remember those days.
Really?
Yep, where my mother had like Charlie, Tony said, the vaporizer and put Vicks inside
And she
there.
put my head under a towel, like, and she would stick it in there.
Yeah. But they also had just
She might have
vaporizers.
left
For
it
it.
under there a
That she was
little
trying to
long.
kill me, I still think.
They had vaporizers for it. So
Right.
yeah.
It was too cheap to buy it. This is the better way.
Anyway, I'm going to put on the theme here. I made it through the hour.
You're still alive.
Not just barely.
Yeah.
And now I have to wait an hour for Amy to get out of here so that I can go to sleep. But in any event, it's good having you guys back here. Sorry I wasn't here last night. If you tried, I'm sorry. Thanks, Jeff. We appreciate it. And, of course, Kevin, always great to have you here. Did you take my advice on what kind of an apple to buy?
I did.
You did. Which one did you buy? You bought the Mini Mac.
The one we built. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks to Alan, and thanks to Josh, and thanks to Tony, and of course Charlie. Always a pleasure having you here. Everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you. Okay? There they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our citizen panel for tonight. I'll see if I can be better tomorrow. I sincerely doubt that I will, but I'll see if I can be better tomorrow. In the meantime, Amy Manuel is next over most of this same Gabnet. She'll be here with the Citizens Panel and taking your calls on, Zoom. Okay? And if you don't have her address on Zoom, you just simply go over to gabnet.net, and underneath all the stuff that talks about Zoom, there's a button you push for me, or there's a button you push for her, and that way you can call her. I'll see you tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.